In this next section, we're going to be discussing some of the basics. Most of the tools Clickbank provides require at least a basic understanding of how HTML, XML, and the TCP/IP system works. So for the few who only know how to use the front-end tools like Front Page to create a website and have no clue what's going on under the hood, let's spend a few moments discussing the basic concepts to make certain you can implement the tools and suggestions that they make to secure and update your sites. First, we should define a few terms. What is TCP/IP? This is the language that the Internet uses to communicate. It stands for Transport Control Protocol/Internet Protocol. Next is the href tag. This refers to a hyperlink reference to another URL or resource. Next, HTML. This is another language, just like English or French, that's used by web pages and the TCP/IP protocol to define certain actions to be taken by browsers. HTML is a familiar concept used for formatting and beginning and end points. The list of keywords, how they are to be used, and what all actions browsers are supposed to take when they encounter them is handled by the World Wide Web Consortium, who can be found online along with a vast array of tools and assistance at www.w3.org. Next is the image source. This is the image or logo equivalent of an href URL, and it points to a picture or image location to be loaded in conjunction with an href or next just displayed at this location on the page. Next is XML coding. This is a later version of HTML, which allows for some rather broad and dynamic interpretations of underlying data and is useful in features such as RSS feeds and displaying data on various sites in a variety of ways without having to completely restructure the code itself. For most of us, the HTML or XML code is just the underlying bits that tell our browsers how to display and handle the text and images that we want our viewers to interact with. And in most cases, that's enough. But since many code snippets are provided by vendors such as Clickbank to accomplish tracking or certain actions, the one thing you need to understand is how to view your HTML code and where to insert the code they provide you to accomplish desired goals. Knowing that all opening tags, such as the bold command, have a corresponding end command is the first step to achieving this goal. Another vital aspect of understanding HTML in web pages is knowing that just as the code has a start and end point, so do certain areas of the web page itself. For instance, every web page will have a header, which contains, among other things, the doc type, which defines the specific Internet encoding the HTML subscribes to, and details about the page, including keywords and scripts to run when the page loads, such as background images and sounds. The amount of capabilities that HTML and today's browsers provide can be quite overwhelming. But understanding these basics and remembering to keep a backup of your site prior to any edits you make and thoroughly test will allow even a novice to ramp up fairly quickly. The next chapter will show you even more cool stuff to help you set up your site properly and get a high-ranking Clickbank site. Let's move on now to help that is available to you from within Clickbank. If you didn't already know, there's a lot of resources that you don't even have to pay extra for. Clickbank itself offers quite a bit of information and tools to help publishers and affiliates alike in selling and managing their stats and calculating their earnings. As mentioned before, many of these tools are code snippets to be put into your page, so a basic understanding of how your editor works and how to view the underlying code is required, as well as at least a quick summary of HTML itself to ensure you place your data into the correct spots. A few of the more common suggestions and tools required to really optimize your site for Clickbank include order URLs. Your payment link is a URL reference, which informs Clickbank of the target and publisher so you can get credited with the sale. It will be formatted like all hyperlink references. In the actual link, the publisher and item will be replaced with the Clickbank account nickname and the item number that you wish to sell, and the display text of click to purchase should reflect any verbiage you wish to display to inform them of what they're buying. Next is JMAP. This refers to affiliates and is short for Join My Affiliate Program, where you can create links offering commissions of the sale of your online product to an affiliate who lists the product on their site for sale. In this case, the code snippet needs to go on the affiliate's page. And to encourage them to join and become associated, Clickbank allows them to register for free. Currently, over 100,000 affiliates are registered with Clickbank. Once you get the hang of Clickbank's unique selling methods and ramp up on basic HTML editing, the sky is the limit for your marketing capabilities. Adding logos, images, and exciting testimonials as to the success of your ebooks and data don't have to be intimidating. And even if you find these capabilities are beyond your skills, hiring assistance from vendors to do the actual edits for you can be inexpensive and easy ways to enter the exciting world of e-commerce with very little investment. After all, your website's already there, right? It might as well be earning you a living. We talked a little bit about your image earlier, but let's go a little bit deeper on that subject. There's no question that if you don't have a smooth-looking website, people aren't going to feel compelled to buy from you. A website's look is vital to marketing success. When you're making a site to wow others or just for fun, you can do anything you want. Exciting animations, unique and different approaches, and odd visual images or menus can even be fun to a one-time visitor. But if you're going to make a go of a business, your site needs to be clean, crisp, functional, and very neat in appearance. There are many suggestions that indicate light-colored pages and simple menus work best, but again, this may or may not be true for the segment you're approaching. For almost all people, however, the ability to quickly and easily move through a site without confusion or long delays is vital to a pleasant online experience. A few keys that many website developers don't think about that can help with this as well as save money and space include keeping pictures just large enough to display in their on-screen size at an adequate rate, finding ways to store content efficiently, and removing unused or unnecessary items like background music and videos, which may slow down performance and delay page loads. There is a need to understand a few elements of the image used on your web page for marketing to make sure they download quickly, look good, and do the job. First and foremost, why is it important to know the full size of a displayed image and carefully tailor the DPI and image size stored on the server to just meet that need? The reason is download speed. A visitor to a website won't wait around forever for an image to download. But at the same time, if the images are too small, they may be blurry or of inadequate quality to be of use. One of the most confusing aspects of image size to most website owners is that the DPI and actual image size bears little importance to the file size that is stored on and downloaded from the website. When an image is created with most software packages, the size is very large. The amount of information stored is calculated by the DPI. With computers, most screens default to 72 DPI, regardless of size, so this is a good starting point. If you design your web page for an image to fill the screen, you can calculate the largest likely screen size. So you should always calculate using the known DPI setting and the average, or at most the largest sized image you need to be perfect to create the image quality setting that will meet your needs. The other consideration is how that data is stored and interpreted. For this, you need to understand the two most used image types on the World Wide Web, the JPEG and GIF. Let's go over a few facts about those before we continue. The JPEG is the most commonly used and best compressed, but is called a lossy because every time the file is saved, the compression algorithms will cause the image to degrade or become less crisp and clear. This means you should keep your original images on hand if you're going to be constantly editing the image and save to the JPEG format only to use on the page. The GIF, which is lossless, but supports only 256 colors, unlike the 16 million color format the JPEG can support. In cases where a logo or an image with only a few colors is used, this is an excellent option. There are also animated GIFs, which can be used in which a series of GIF images are combined into a single file and looped, creating a single animation without any code. The size of the image itself is set in the program creating or editing it, and can be any size from 1 kilobyte to several megabyte. And no matter what the final size and DPI to be displayed is going to be, the entire file has to be downloaded by the browser to be displayed, and in fact, sometimes may display with even less quality than a smaller image that's not having to be modified to be displayed by the browser. Ideally, you'll set your actual file size in whatever graphic editing package you're using to be set to 72 dpi and the largest physical size to be displayed on any browser. Using a GIF with lower colors and a JPEG so the file to be downloaded will be smaller due to the compression for other high-color images will further optimize the image performance. When creating the JPEG or GIF image, some important things to bear in mind is that the order and way you set color depth and resolution is important too. For instance, having higher colors at a larger size, you should first resize and then reduce to maintain the integrity of the colors. When resizing, always use the same aspect ratio as the original and then crop if necessary to make changes to the orientation or shape of the image, and remember, keep all originals and save the image format only to be uploaded to your site. The safest way to obtain images is to take your own pictures, although even then, be aware that some copyright aspects can come to bear. Once you take, edit, and crop the image in a high-resolution file format, you can export or save a copy to the JPEG or GIF image to use on the site. In addition, it's a good idea to keep the images prior to any edits permanently and label it in some way to help make it clear that it is the archive copy. We've mentioned the possibility of animated GIF images for effect already, and that can be a very useful and powerful tool. But there is also a layered JPEG technique most web page development software can apply, which allows JPEG images to be displayed in low-resolution bands while they're still being downloaded to allow web pages to become viewable sooner. Using this technique when a higher resolution large image has to be used is a good idea, but otherwise optimizing the images to be small and download quickly is the best approach. Taking the time to learn a specific program like Adobe Photoshop or Corel Photo Paint and researching tips and suggestions from user groups can often help. The types of images you show is also important. First and foremost, you're not legally allowed to use images you found online or modified from other sites or scanned in without specific written permission. Also, many public domain images or purchased clip art have restrictions about use with for-profit sites, so you need to understand the basics of copyright law and what you can and can't use first. Assuming this is understood, the marketing aspects of images you show on your web page are pretty simple. Images need to be of relevance and interest, and they have to have enough detail to be of use, but small enough to download quickly. With the right file type sized correctly at the right resolutions and an understanding of what images you can legally use and which will bring value to your site, you're now ready to lay out your page. Many software packages restrict to one degree or another how and where you can place images. Normally, the choices provided are sufficient, and some packages even allow you to use thumbnails, which are smaller placeholders for large images that can sometimes work well for inline image links. Many website owners seem to think that the more images the better, but in reality, images should be used to illustrate key points from the page text or descriptions and should be placed close to the related areas. An optimally laid out site will be visually exciting and easy to read. It will have content that makes the viewer want to read it, and enough useful information within the pages to provide value when they do so. Failure to meet these aspects of marketing will result in less than optimal results from your site. If you want the bad with the good, the next chapter is going to give you all the nitty-gritty that you probably didn't expect to hear. This chapter was meant as a way to give you a good insight into Clickbank as a company before you go diving in 100%. Clickbank is an awesome affiliate market that has lots going for it, But like any company, there are some bad points that you might benefit from considering, and maybe even offer a savvy fellow an opportunity for success. One of the issues that is less than perfect is Clickbank's current built-in affiliate program. Clickbank lets a seller set what percentage they offer an affiliate such as yourself, anywhere from 1% to 75% on each sale, and limits initial prices of goods to a maximum of $49.95 per download or sale. There are many of us out here eager to sign up and see that percentage and sell those products. But the way Clickbank has its website organized, it can be difficult to find existing ebooks and products that meet our needs. If an ebook isn't in the top 100 in sales, they may not list it in the category and subcategory fields at all, unless they're new, and then they will be available in the new releases category. This means that a very saleable product that is a perfect fit for your site may exist on Clickbank already and you just haven't found it yet. To address this problem, some third-party companies have created Clickbank malls. They use special script to help you to do some in-depth searching. The problem is, these guys are making money doing what should be built into Clickbank already. I'm sure this will be addressed in the future fully, but for now, careful queries and searching through the database may be required to be sure that you're not overlooking some gem in the Clickbank archives. Another issue with Clickbank from a seller's point of view is that any of us can join their affiliate and take a commission, and they have little to no say about that. Normally, I'm sure they welcome us with open arms since a sale is a sale, but there will probably come a day when someone selling Bible references will find their product on a porn site and a lawsuit will commence. From our side of things, there are limited tools in place for sellers to communicate with affiliates. Available graphics, images, and suggestions for how to best market their products are not easily available. And even if supplied, we may not have the expertise to implement them on our sites. All in all, Clickbank tools and features are pretty good and getting better. But identifying issues like how best to combine and track the customer data you're emailed from each sale into a viable customer database can still be a headache for some. This next chapter will break down the mindset of the social bookmarking user so that you can see how that might help you in your business. The fundamental reason why consumers build social bookmarking profiles is to create an identity to share. After doing so, they're able to interact on social networking sites on a regular basis, and marketers can use this behavior to their advantage by monitoring their favorite brands, reading about new products, learning about their competitors, identifying with other users, seeing what friends and family find interesting, finding what the latest trends are, and identifying new products to purchase. In order to create a profile on many of today's leading social bookmarking sites, a user simply creates a screen name, login information, and maybe uploads a picture. Depending on the theme of the site, the user will then go ahead and upload the relevant information, such as links or products to their profile pages. After that, they can become a part of a community. Community members and leaders rise to the top ranks of the site based on a variety of factors. There's level of activity, user feedback, the number of products that have been reviewed, popularity within the community, and the number of fans. In many ways, social bookmarking is considered to be a form of collective intelligence. It's based on a few trends in the marketplace. News or other information can provide very important data to a third-party observer. Filtering data has become even more important today as it provides insight and information on direct experiences with many of the goods and services available in the marketplace. Social media offers the latest roundup on online technologies that is based on the concept of community. Sharing opinions, posting comments, participating in discussion boards, and simply exchanging media files are all facets of social media on the web today. And social bookmarking and networking are just a couple of these online activities. Knowing how to develop your website so that it is conducive to social media applications can help you interact with your customers in a variety of new ways, and ultimately lead to the traffic levels that you desire. Increased traffic is a necessary result of innovation, and attractive websites that encourage user interaction are making the business of marketing much easier. Social media sites encourage users to set up a profile and interact with other community members. Communities and niche channels develop organically with limited effort from a company or site owner. By joining some of these networks as a business entity, you can create a valuable presence with a variety of customers and find out what they're most interested in. Submitting valuable articles and content and then sharing it in a community is an excellent way to create a positive presence in the world of social media. But there are some specific steps involved when publishing on the web. SEO-friendly content is not the only way to develop a presence, as there is an element of interacting with community members involved as well. But why is social marketing so important in your everyday business and marketing efforts? What role does it play in reaching your target market? These are both questions that many website owners and businesses ask, and determining the effectiveness of social media will be a part of your internet marketing strategy. Social media is quickly becoming one of the web's fastest-growing online activities, a place for customers in a variety of markets and communities to learn, educate others, and interact with other buyers. As a result, it is in your best interest to track and gauge different patterns. Consider social media just one channel to accurately gauge your customers' interests, tastes, and preferences. Each contributor is essentially volunteering testimonials on products, likes, dislikes, and other information that was once only available from direct market surveys or interviews. Social media platforms offer you some insight on what the customer truly wants at any given time. Developing your website so that it uses at least 2 or 3 of today's leading social media technologies can help boost traffic with less and less direct marketing efforts. Consider the value for social media activities such as Wikipedia. Wikipedia is quickly becoming a valuable way for businesses to attract fresh visitors simply through educating and informing them on a specific subject. Developing an article with your business link and then submitting it to a Wikipedia directory can easily help you reach a variety of targeted visitors who have a specific interest in your subject. The only effort you need to make in this case is to provide a quality article or material and submit it to the appropriate category on Wikipedia. Wikipedia receives thousands or even millions of web visitors every day. Simply creating one link to your information can be all it takes to reach a wider audience. In the event that a visitor finds the information especially useful, you have the chance to join a social bookmarking network as well. Social bookmarkers are always looking for valuable content to link to and submit, and you have a chance to join a new community with each submission as a result. Social networking communities offer another opportunity to join the social media channels. Every effort you make to identify your brand and web presence can be increased tenfold when you join a consumer-driven and user-generated community such as MySpace or other social networking platforms. These sites encourage regular interaction in a casual and conversational style. Although you won't be submitting specific articles or content, you will be growing your brand presence with your users. In addition, you can use the search features on any of these sites to narrow down your target market. Video sharing can work well in conjunction with your article and content submissions too, and is becoming especially popular with social bookmarkers. Creating and publishing videos to deliver a message can easily be picked up by many social bookmarkers and is shared instantly. The idea is to create something unique and creative so that more people are driven to view it and ultimately head back to your website. Virtual reality and events are another way to attract new viewers to your website and can create an instant impact with other marketing efforts. If you submit a press release about your event or the latest innovations on your website to different social bookmarking networks, the chances of increased exposure are much higher. Making sure all of your submissions are tagged and indexed to the right categories will help you create a strong presence in the community. Essentially, you're notifying your community of the upcoming event or news in press release form. If you catch on to a trend or other newsworthy subject, you can gain instant favor on a variety of social bookmarking communities, such as Dig. Next, we're going to talk about podcasting. Developing online audio episodes of content is quickly becoming a popular activity for bloggers and website owners, and including this type of media on your website can help you promote your work in a new way. The immediate attraction of audio on your website can also be submitted to social bookmarking sites and other media channels. And once you have a system in place for publishing these files on your site, you can start sharing the link on a regular basis. Sites including Dig and Technorati now have a section for podcasts and audio files. More people are becoming interested in simply listening than reading, and you can begin to reach a much wider market by taking advantage of this trend. And there's also live broadcasts. If you have a business or website that can create news, tips, or advice, then live casting may be another opportunity for you. These segments of online video are designed to share ideas, showcase an event, or even stage a seminar. The idea is to generate enough interested users who join the session from anywhere. Live casts are online events that can be used to generate buzz. A press release that highlights the event can easily be submitted to social bookmarking sites and directories for instant exposure. Media sharing is one of the precursors to social bookmarking and networking, developing from the concept of photo sharing and music exchanges. As these sites have grown, more people are learning to share and create profiles so that they can fit into different communities naturally. Always remember to include a link back to your main website, as this will be the ultimate driver of new traffic. All of these social media platforms offer you an opportunity to establish a presence within a community and then to start networking with others. Always keep in mind that any piece of content that is published on a website has potential for sharing. The link is what will be submitted to social bookmarking directories and networks, and you can work on building a profile of your own or counting on your customers to do this for you. The goal is to create a valuable and consistent presence in a variety of social media outlets so that the chances of being bookmarked and shared are much higher. Building a network of like-minded users and visitors is the basis of Web 2.0 applications on the web today, and social bookmarking is just one element of this growth. Web 2.0 sites are based on a few key principles that encourage interaction and sharing information with ease. By using tagging and breaking down information into structures, everything is organized in a way that makes it easy to search and find specific information. From blogs to shopping sites, Web 2.0 has allowed new media-rich applications to serve as platforms for all users. Sites like Dig.com and StumbleUpon and dozens of others are building communities and creating networks. Web 2.0 applications are essentially doing what market research departments have been working on for decades, filtering information on consumers and segmenting the market. Market segmentation is an essential part of consolidating demographic information and has often been compiled through surveys, focus groups, and other market research initiatives. Web 2.0 applications allow many marketers to simply skip these steps. If your consumer market is voluntarily sharing information about their tastes, preferences, and other ideas through social bookmarking channels, it becomes much easier to learn and develop new tactics to keep them engaged. Social bookmarking allows marketers to segment and augment their market, help with branding, develop relevant RSS feeds, open up a platform for visitor comments, monitor and track how specific products perform in the marketplace. It increases revenue and it reduces expenses. Social bookmarking is influential, and many sites develop a format where similar products, articles, or items are conveniently located next to the current one for easier navigation. This creates a more enriching experience for the visitor, but it also helps track basic preferences for a variety of users. This recommendation concept has been very successful on shopping sites like Amazon.com. And is gaining speed in multimedia, articles, blogs, and other information hubs as well. In addition to the marketing and branding benefits of participating in a social bookmarking network, there are other benefits involved as well. The following metrics can be generated as a result of ongoing participation. You'll get more visitors. Articles and submissions posted to social bookmarking sites can be tracked easily. Higher profits. Customers that are continuously participating in a specific genre or community are more likely to simply buy something through this portal or channel. This gives rise to increased revenue. You also get better SE rankings. Determining how well a specific product is doing becomes much easier as it reaches the high ranks of a specific community. And less expenditure. Social bookmarking and marketing on the web offer the added benefit of reduced cost. Businesses are more likely to reach a wider audience with minimal effort. This next chapter is going to give you an insider's look into the actual mindset of the people that you're targeting with your message. Social bookmarking offers many opportunities for marketers to collect information and learn about the behavior patterns of their customers, as well as first-hand reviews for particular brands and products. Social bookmarking sites are chock full of different perspectives and information, and all of this is stored in an easily searchable database. Since like-minded individuals are creating tags on every item they post, it becomes easy to find relevant products and related subjects within each area of interest. Social bookmarkers are primarily interested in learning more about products and ideas that interest them, and they will network accordingly. They're more exposed to new information, whether this is pulled from blogs, media sites, or simply a product page from a business. The more involved marketers are with social networks, the higher the chances of increased brand exposure. As more social bookmarkers participate in their communities, the buzz about particular product or ideas can easily be broadcast across multiple markets with very little effort. The thinking process of a social bookmarker is relatively simple. First, they find an idea or product of interest, then they upload this information to the social bookmarking platform. Next, they describe the product or idea, usually posting a brief summary that includes keywords and other relevant information. This is noted on the social bookmarking site search engine, as well as the tags that are added to the item afterwards. Once complete, a picture or other media clip can be added. Once submitted, the new item is organized and implemented into the appropriate category on the site. Any new information posted to the site can now be viewed by the entire audience. Subscribers to various channels will see new topics posted immediately, in a very similar format to an RSS feed on a blog. In either case, this fresh information will be on the roster of all the people in that community. If others find it important, this increases the chances of sharing, as they're more likely to note it and include it on their lists. Essentially, this means that the business can create a unique content and product to send to various social bookmarking sites. Once they create a valuable presence, it becomes much easier to influence the decision makers in each and every community. This is the essence of social bookmarking at its best. Community building can create a network of influence, and that can now also be enjoyed by marketers and entrepreneurs on the web. So how can you get the maximum exposure? Given how simple it can be to get information in front of influential customers, it only makes sense to take the steps to get on the front page. The front page of social bookmarking sites offers an opportunity for increased page views, visitors, and increased exposure across multiple channels. Getting on the front page makes it easy for millions of visitors to get the first impression with very little effort. But it's not an easy process. Sites like StumbleUpon can generate as much as 20,000 page views after just one showcase on the front page. The first step in reaching the top ranks is to develop a creative headline. All articles on social bookmarking sites that have some leverage contain a unique and compelling opening. They encourage readers to click on the link and essentially draw people in. It may be helpful to brush up on article writing and effective web copy to understand the guidelines for writing a compelling headline. The next step is to write an appropriate description. The description is essential to ensure that a captive audience stays that way all the way through completion. The first 10 to 15 words can make or break your article, and this is the time to keep the information short and concise, but you want to be informative enough to keep the reader engaged. Some social bookmarking sites don't allow more than 150 characters, so you may need to edit the text down according to the site's standards. After reviewing the headline and description, you will need to make sure that the first paragraph is just as compelling. You've grabbed the user's attention, and now it's time to continue on with a unique presentation. Posting irrelevant information may result in being banned from the site, so it's important to stay within spamming guidelines. If you're posting information from a blog, it may be simpler to just add a bookmarking button on the site. Bookmarking buttons can be pasted within a website or blog with some simple HTML code. You'll simply copy the code and implement it on the site so that others can link to it easily. Or you can run simple scripts that will add multiple buttons all at one time, like the free script from addtobookmarks.com. Once you've submitted your piece, it's important to network and socialize with other people in the community. This can help you create an active profile with various communities, but also provide added exposure for relevant posts or links. Cooperation and collaboration on social bookmarking sites are essential for creating a valuable network, and you can gain an even more influential presence as you find the right networks and communities to join. Responding to comments, posting information on other people's articles or blogs, and just staying connected to various channels will help you build a positive online reputation. Building a brand in the offline world involves maximizing exposure and creating easy access to your business. Online, this takes the form of communities and social interaction. It's even more important to become engaged and get the right level of exposure on the web today. And community building is a part of this process. Joining relevant networks, providing appropriate content, and building an online profile are all effective ways to make this possible. And building a strong foundation requires some skill and knowledge about social networking overall. Ensuring that positive feedback, comments, and relevant information are posted is one way to promote a brand or identity with ease. As more readers begin to learn about your particular topic, it becomes easier for them to associate and grow with you. Finding the right networks and communities to join will take some time. You'll need to set up your profile first, highlighting key areas of interest, tagging your information appropriately, and sharing the information in already established web communities. After that, you can start communicating with other social bookmarkers to learn about the different groups that are available. Many social bookmarking sites are organized by topic and subject. You'll want to narrow down your fields of interest to about 4 or 5 different areas. If you're selling beauty products, for example, you may choose to set your sites on fashion, lifestyle, and shopping. If you're promoting a home products-based business, you may choose to focus on stay-at-home mom groups, entrepreneurs, and small business networks. It's important to think in larger terms when choosing communities and networks to join, as you can narrow down the crowds after entering and introducing yourself. Introductions are very informal on social bookmarking sites and are different than joining a discussion forum. On these sites, your ranking and seniority is largely determined by the date you joined and your level of activity. It may also be calculated by the number of positive ratings you've received, as well as a calculation of page views. Whatever the case may be, it's important to learn about community rules and guidelines, and then begin posting in areas that are relevant to your identity. Link building is a natural byproduct of social bookmarking sites, since you're using your links and blog posts as leverage while you network. It becomes very simple to locate groups of interest and then to proceed with sharing your links through article submissions and relevant posts. Building a profile with a link to your website is the first step, since the more prominent your position on the network, the more that other community members will want to learn more about you. Increasing links to your website can be done in a few different ways without spamming. Commenting on blogs, articles, and posts, and providing link back information of relevance, including your link as a tag on your profile name. Making sure people are aware of new information that you've posted by copying and pasting the link on relevant discussions or comments. These are all effective traffic builders for your website and can start to spread the message about a particular topic or article of interest. The internet is filled with successful social bookmarkers on a variety of topics, but it's sites such as reddit.com and stumbleupon.com that can really get a startup noticed. Even if you're joining these sites on a personal level, it can help to begin learning about a community, understanding key preferences and lingo of particular communities, and utilizing the common applications and tools available on social bookmarking sites today.